Hey team, Yasin here, and in this training, we are going to be going over the launching ads overview. Now, this training is specifically going to really lay down the foundations and the roadmap of what it is that we are going to be doing here in the launching ads section, as well as what the upcoming trainings are going to look like in regards to Judgment Day, as well as ongoing management. So let's go ahead and talk about what our overarching Facebook ads strategy is, okay? So specifically, this training is the overview of launch day. We're then going to talk about the setup, and then we're going to talk about how to actually launch ads, okay? So that is the first component of this, which is the actual launch day, okay? After that, we're gonna have something called Judgment Day, and we're gonna have further trainings about that in regards to what Judgment Day is, why it's important, how to actually do it, all of that good jazz. And then after that is going to be the ongoing management of your Facebook ads, okay? So these three make up the core pillars of what our Facebook ads strategy is, okay? And like I said, for this specific section here in the launching ads section, we're gonna be going over the overview, setup, and then how to actually launch. So this training right here that you're watching right now is the overview, and then we're gonna have setup as well as how to actually launch and how to do all of that, okay? So in this training, which is the overview, like I said like a gazillion times now, is we're gonna go over two major things. The first thing we're gonna go over is what is the anatomy of a Facebook ads account. And then we're also going to go over our Facebook ads campaign strategy, which is going to be very important for you to be familiar with from a high level point of view, because it's going to really give you clarity around how is it that you're going to be structuring your Facebook ad account. Okay, so let's go ahead and without further ado, dive into the anatomy of a Facebook ads account. Now, this is typically what a Facebook ads account looks like, okay? So at the top level, you have the ad account, and then within the ad account, you have multiple campaigns that you can run. I'm gonna show you guys an example of that here in a second, okay? So you have multiple campaigns that you can run within an ad account, and then every single campaign is made up of individual ad sets. And so that's where you can actually have multiple ad sets inside of a campaign, and then ads are specifically inside of the ad set. And so you can see here there's like an anatomy, right? It kind of goes into it, is like you have the campaign, then the campaign is made up of the ad sets, and then the ad sets are made up of the ads. Now, every single one of these levels has different tools and different tweaks that you can make and different settings that you can make on every single one of these levels. So specifically on the ad account level, that is going to be where you are going to be managing the settings regarding billing for your overall ad account. You're also going to be managing what are your different Facebook pixels that you have. If you don't know what a Facebook pixel is, do not worry. We're going to go over it in another training soon. The next thing we're going to go is also on the ads levels where you can manage your custom conversions. You can also manage your saved audiences. All of that pretty much happens on the ad level, okay? On the campaign level, that is going to be where you can actually manage two things, which is your campaign objective. And that's kind of if you're trying to convert for conversions, if you're trying to convert for traffic, if you're trying to convert for app downloads, those kinds of things, that happens on the campaign level. And the second thing is that if you were going to be utilizing a campaign budget, right, a campaign budget optimization CBO, if you're not familiar with that, don't even worry about it. But the biggest thing is that if you were going to set a campaign budget, that can also be done on the campaign level. But again, it's optional, but don't worry about it. We're going to talk about all of that good jazz in a future training as well. Okay, so those are the two things that you can pretty much do on the campaign level. Specifically on the ad set level. On the ad set level is going to be where you can manage the actual custom conversion, like what is the actual custom conversion that you're going to use, right? So the setup happens on the ad account level, but the actual custom conversion, choosing it, happens on the ad set level. You can also manage the ad set budget if you are not doing CBO on the ad set level. Then also you can manage the audience and the targeting that happens on the ad set level, the placements, as well as the optimizations. All of that happens at the ad set level, okay? And then finally, on the ad level is going to be where you're going to manage, okay, what page is going to actually run this ad? What is the specific ad type? Is it going to be a carousel? Is it just going to be an image? Is it going to be a video? You're going to then go ahead and upload the creative, the copy. You're going to set the headlines, the description, and the call to action button. All of that happens on the ad level, okay? Now, I know this was a little bit theoretical, and so I want to go ahead and make it a little bit more practical for you. So we're going to go ahead and go into the ads manager. We're going to go ahead and create a test campaign. So you're going to go here, and you can see here it's asking me to choose the campaign objective. Don't worry, we're going to tell you exactly what campaign objectives to set, so you don't even have to worry about that. But what I want to show you here is you can see here that the ads manager is set up exactly the way that I showed you earlier. It's exactly set up in this ad account, campaigns, ad sets, and ads structure. So you can see here that on the main part, we have our ad account. Within the ad account, we have multiple campaigns. And then every single campaign, if I click into this test one, is made up of ad sets. So right now I have one ad set inside of this campaign. And then if I click on this ad set, it'll show me here on the ads, this ad set has one ad in it. And so if I go ahead and click on edit, you can see here that at the campaign level, I can go ahead and add right here, I can create an ad set at the campaign level. So if I click create an ad set, it will go ahead and add another ad set in there. And then inside of the ad set right here, I can go ahead and click on create ad. And so I can have multiple ads inside of the ad set. And so that's kind of how it's set up. So that way you have the campaign, you have the ad sets, and then the ad sets are made of the ads, okay? So you can see here, if I go to the campaign level, that is gonna be where I can set the campaign objective. You see that? Campaign objective gets set right there, as well as if you're gonna set a campaign budget, but again, that's optional. We'll talk about that in future trainings, okay? And then on the ad set level, you see if I click on the ad set level, that's gonna be where you can select the conversion. You can select the budget if you're gonna be utilizing ad set budget. You can also set the audience, the location, the age, the gender, the detailed targeting. All of that happens on the ad set level, as well as the placements. So right now it's set to automatic. If I put manual, I can select, okay, do I want this to show up on mobile? Do I want it to show up on desktop, Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, all of the different placements that exist? I can check them or uncheck them accordingly, as well as kind of setting up some of the optimizations around conversion windows. All of that also happens on the ad set level. Again, if all of this is a little bit overwhelming for you, do not worry. We're gonna be giving you guys exactly the settings to do. This is just the overview, so I just wanna kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect here, okay? The next thing is on the ad level. The ad level is gonna be here where you can select what page you want it to run from. What does the ad look like? Is it going to be a video or a picture? What is the copy? What is going to be the creative? What is the headline, the description, the website, the call to action? All of that happens on the ad level, okay? So that is just a practical overview of what that anatomy of a Facebook ads account looks like. The reason why this is important is because you need to know if you're going to make changes or if you're going to be setting things up, you need to know what level of the hierarchy that you are setting things up on, okay? So we've already gone ahead and talked about a lot of this. Next, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about here in this training is the Facebook ads campaign strategy. So now, okay, that is the general anatomy. What is now our specific strategy, right? What is it that we're going to be doing specifically and how are we going to structure our ad account? So those are all the variables, but how are we going to structure it? So how we're going to basically be structuring this is that, yes, this is the generic one, but what we're going to do is that we're going to have two major campaigns. And again, I'm going to walk you through on how to set all of this up in the next training, which is the launching ads setup training. But I just want to kind of get you the overview here, is that inside of your ad account, we're going to create for you a workshop campaign and a production campaign. And when I say we're going to create it for you, I'm going to walk you through how to create that, okay? So in the workshop campaign, that's going to be where we are going to be testing different ads. And then the production campaign is going to be where we are going to actually be having the ads running. And so you can see here, even in our ad account, we actually have the exact same thing. If I go back over here, we have our workshop campaign and we have a production campaign. It's exactly that. That's all you need. That's literally the only two campaigns that you would need unless you're going to run retargeting ads, but that's a whole separate thing that's a little bit more advanced that we'll talk about in the future. But you have your workshop campaign and you have your production campaign. So what you're going to be doing on launch day, okay? So launch day, which is exactly what we're walking through here in these trainings right now, is on launch day, you are going to launch multiple test ad sets inside of your workshop campaign. Why do we do it inside your workshop campaign and not your production campaign? Because we do all of our testing inside of the workshop campaign. So you're going to launch multiple test ad sets inside of the workshop campaign. I'm going to talk to you about how many ad sets to run and all that kind of stuff in the other future training. We're going to run each of those ad sets at $10 a day. That is our test ad set budget at $10 a day. And then what we're going to do is we're going to then wait a full 72 to 96 hours in order to come to judgment day. Okay? So launch day is literally where we're just launching the test campaigns that have all the test ads inside of them at $10 a day. We're going to put all of that inside of the workshop campaign, and then we're going to sit down and we're going to wait for 72 to 96 hours, okay? Once we actually wait 72 to 96 hours after we launch the test ad sets, we're then going to evaluate based on the KPIs that I give you in the future training, which ad sets were actually good, which ad sets were not good. Once we figure out which ad sets are good and which ad sets are not good, remember that's why it's called judgment day, because we're judging the ad sets, okay, after the 72 to 96 hour window. What we're then going to go ahead and do is we're then going to go ahead and duplicate those ad sets, and we're going to go ahead and move them into the production campaign, and we're going to go ahead and put a larger budget on those. So instead of $10 a day, we're going to set 20, 30, 40, 50, even $100 a day if it's a really, really good ad set. Again, I'll talk to you more about that in future trainings. Because now, instead of it being a test ad set, it is now a proven ad set. And that is why we move it into the production campaign, because everything that is proven, everything that is ready to be scaled gets duplicated from the workshop into the production, and then we scale the ad spend accordingly, okay? And then once that is done, we go ahead and clear out the ad sets that did not win, and then we go ahead and test ad set number 4. Ad set number 5, right? And we just keep that going. So we got our workshop campaign always running, which is testing new variations all the time. And then we have our production campaign that is basically feeding our business because all of our proven winners are inside of that, okay? And again, like I said, we're going to be helping you guys set this up step by step by step. So do not get overwhelmed. We're going to take it every step of the way, okay? And so that is how we're going to take these puzzle pieces of setting up your ad account and set up the workshop campaign, the production campaign, and then run your entire business off of that. And we're going to dive more into that in the future trainings, okay? So this has been the launching ads overview. Now you have a general idea from a 30,000 foot view exactly how is the anatomy of a Facebook ads account, as well as what is the specific structure that we're going to be utilizing, so that way you can go out there, get literally unlimited leads if you're spending the right money, making sure you're doing it profitably, and that way you can grow your business. I will catch you guys on the next training.